Hello, Chicago. Welcome to another talk of Chicago Sports Talk. I am wearing sunglasses because the Chicago Bears are going to light up the scoreboard this season coming up. This September, October, November, December, into the Super Bowl, the Bears will be lighting up the scoreboard, wearing the sunglasses. The Bears are going to light up the scoreboard this year, and why do I know that? They did not get a Le'Veon Bell. They did not sign a Antonio Brown. They didn't get that big name on free agency. They didn't get that big name player like they got on the defensive side of the ball, a Khalil Mack. They don't have that superstar name. But what they do have is a bunch of players that fit Matt Nagy's scheme and that knows what they're doing. They're not going to be asked to be something they're not. They're not going to ask to do pretty much anything more than what they've been doing in their careers. What I like about the offensive players that the Bears have signed, we'll get to the defense, is that they're young, they're fast, and they're athletic. And I'll take that any time of the day. Today, actually, this afternoon, my name is Kevin Zico. I am your host. Thank you for watching Chicago Bears Sports Talk. This year, we're going to be talking not just Bears. We got baseball coming in. We're going to be talking baseball. We got the Bulls fighting to get into the third spot for the worst record, not for a playoff seed, so they can hopefully get a Zion Williams or a John Moran, but that's not the point. We're going to be sticking to our Bears. We're going to be talking today about the moves they have made on the offensive side. We're going to touch a little bit on the defensive moves, on who might be next. Is Justin Houston coming to Chicago? Are the Bears going to pursue him? Does Justin Houston want a long contract, or is he looking for maybe a 1 year, have a good year, even though he had an awesome year the last 2 years, and hit the free agency market next year, something like Clinton Dix did? Another thing we're going to be talking about, the Bears are looking at some running backs. I kind of got excited when we heard the Bears have freed up $11 million in cap space, and then we hear that the Bears are heavily pursuing Le'Veon Bell. I got a little excited. But truth is, guys, is that I really like Miles Sanders. I really like Miles Sanders, running back, Penn State. I mean, watch this kid. Go watch his film. I mean, you don't got to see a lot of film on him to fall in love with him. Within a couple minutes, you see the potential that's there. Remember, running backs are no longer taken in the first round unless they're a locked, shut down, run through the nose, Hall of Famer potential running back like the Giants running back. The Giants had a option. They could have picked a quarterback. They could have got Josh Rosen. They could have make a move and try to get a replacement for Eli Manning, but they had a running back there. And Barkley is just ridiculous. He is just awesome. They took him and it worked. But a lot of running backs are taken in the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the middle rounds because there's a lot of them. And the thing is that the Bears are one position away from making this offense into a top 10, into a top 3. My opinion is that this offense will be into the top 3 this year. My 3 reasons being why the Bears will be in the top 3 in total offense, not just scoring, but total offense. Yards, passing, touchdowns, all of that. They will be in top 3 and 5. Because Matt Nagy's got another year with these players in his scheme. Trubisky is finally going to have a second year in a row with the same coach, the same coordinator, offensive coordinator. Allen Robinson's going to have a second year under Matt Nagy, Anthony Miller, Tariq Cohen, all these players that the Bears have brought back from last year, which pretty much all of them, are going to be comfortable. They're going to know the scheme a little bit more. Maybe Matt Nagy can actually get deeper into his playbook and see a little bit more trick plays. First, we're going to talk about the offensive signings that the Bears have done. We're going to be about 15 or 20 minutes on this show. Again, thank you for joining. My name is Kevin Zico. You are watching Chicago Sports Talk. Today's topic is Chicago Bears rumors, free agency, running backs, and what do you think the Bears are going to end up at the end of the year? Are they going to be a 10-6 team? Are they going to be a 13-3 team? I know it's easy to say, oh, well, we was 12-4 last year, so that must mean we're going to be 15-1. The schedule is different. People's got eyes on you. You're no longer going to surprise other teams. You're no longer going to walk into someone's house and they're going to overlook you. People know that the Bears are good, and not just defensively like they've been their whole time of existence, but offensively. The Bears are going to put up points, and their superstar. See, the Bears didn't get the superstar in offense in Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown. They may not trade into the first round, into the maybe top 15, top 17 in that situation to get MD. They call him actually the Dark Knight. He's an awesome wide receiver. I mean, MD is just ridiculous good. I mean, the football, when he catches the ball, it looks like it just gets stuck in his hand. I mean, he's a legit receiver. He reminds me of Terrell Owens. He's got that body. He's got that big build. He's a Calvin Johnson type of receiver, and he runs the 40-yard dash great. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears try to move into the first round to get him, maybe by adding a Jordan Howard and a later picks next year, or maybe ones coming in the future. But moral of the story is, with the third round pick overall, my prediction is the Chicago Bears select Miles Sanders, Penn State. That name will be called in the third round, the Chicago Bears pick, when they're on the clock. My belief and all arrows, it's not just what I believe, but from what I saw him and what Matt Nagy's scheme was, what I saw from Matt Nagy's scheme last year on how he likes to use the running back, and not just to become a wide receiver and to use him in play motion, but he likes to also to use the running back as a distraction and give the ball to a receiver to run the ball. So they go out and they sign Mike Davis. They sign a third down back, someone that if they need that third and short, they stick his nose in, get hit, pick up the first down, but he can also catch the ball. And Mike Davis, to me, seems like actually a pretty decent pickup. You know, what's good about this, even though the Bears are going to select a running back, and I believe it's going to be with the first pick, the third round pick, unless they trade down to get someone else. He's a good running back. I mean, it also gives them depth. You know, you got to understand, if I went back and after the double doing loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you, Cody Parkey, for nothing. Also, Parkey cost us a first-round bye because he missed a field goal kick in Miami, and he also missed the extra point against the Giants that we wouldn't have to go into overtime with. So the Bears honestly could have been like 14-2 if it wasn't for Parkey to miss simple kicks. But beside the point, let's move on. He can catch the ball. Mike Davis can catch the ball. He can run with the ball. It gives the Bears depth. Someone goes down for a week or two, a couple of weeks, they got another running back. Miles Sanders, I believe the Bears are going to draft him. They also were looking heavily into David Singletary, which I really liked him. I mean, if you look up his numbers within, I think it's 3 or 4 years, I believe he's in Florida, yes, he's got like 66 touchdowns. 66 touchdowns for 3.5 years. Yes, I mean, he's just ridiculous numbers. He can catch the ball. He can run. And as I'm watching him on the film, he looks really quick. Devin Singletary looks really, really quick. But then I watched the combine, and I seen his 40-yard run. I seen his 40-yard dash, and his timing the first time was a 5.56. I believe it was a 5.59. He ran a 4.9, yes. He ran the 4.59. David Singletary ran the 4.59 40-yard dash. His second time he ran the 40-yard dash, he ran the 4.46. So he got even slower the second time. Kind of scared me a little bit. Everything else, the catching the ball at the combine, the routes, the running, the catching the ball from both sides, turning around. He did everything else good, but that kind of scared me because it would be crazy to trade Jordan Howard and get a third, fourth, whatever you can get for him, and then kind of draft the same identical running back that can just catch the ball a little bit. I mean, there was two running plays this year against the Philadelphia Eagles, the wild card playoff game, that it was up the middle. And I mean, Jordan Howard was a tackle away from breaking it. He was gone. He was gone. He just got taken down because he's a little too slow. He doesn't got that burst speed. It'd be weird for me that the Bears will trade Jordan Howard only to get another Jordan Howard that's not proven yet, but got the ability to to catch the ball. Another player that the Bears were looking at running back, and I saw him run the 40. His 40-yard dash was ridiculous. Was Daryl? What was it? Yeah, Daryl Henderson. Yes, we got Daryl Henderson, Memphis. Wow. That guy is a beast. They say that he is the most explosive running back in football, in college football. I like him a lot. I don't know if he's going to be there when the Bears are picking, but I do know that they say Miles Sanders will be there, and I think the Bears need to take that. If the Bears get Miles Sanders, I mean, it is, and he's the player that everyone thinks he's going to be. He can catch. He could run. He could run routes. He could catch over the head like a wide receiver, just like running. He's a good running back. He's a solid. I know at the very least, if Miles Miles doesn't turn out to be a, oh my God, Pro Bowl running back, I know at the very least they got themselves a solid back. I know that. He's not going to be no bust. But those are the three options the Bears have. They can go David Singletary. They can go with maybe trade down a little bit to try to get Daryl Henderson from Memphis. He's explosive. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he makes linebackers go the opposite way. He's that good. I wouldn't mind if the Bears get him, but on my heart is set on Miles Sanders. I advise you guys to check him out. I'll tell you what, whether you spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes looking at this film, you're not wasting time. Because I believe number 24 from Penn State will be wearing a Bears jersey this upcoming season, and he will be the Bears' go-to running back. I believe the Bears' plans is to make Tariq Cohen more of a wide out and more of a distraction to give the ball to Miles Sanders, Mike Davis as a running back. Mike Davis is too good of a running back, in my opinion, to be a third down back that the Bears never run the ball. I mean, last year the Bears hardly ran the ball. And Jordan Howard was the type of running back that needed to get carries to get going. Miles Sanders is not that running back. David Singletary is not that running back. Henderson from Memphis is not that type of running back that they need to be fed the ball to get some yards, to get going. Actually, the Bears draft Miles Sanders. I think they got a solid pick, solid running back, and I would give them 2 thumbs up on that. Now, why do I think that the Bears are going to light up the scoreboard? Why do I think that? Well, the Bears go and sign Mike Davis. Then they go and they sign a wide receiver from New England. Played under Belichick. Quarterback was Tom Brady. You might know him. He returned a kickoff at Soldier Field and gave the New England Patriots the lead when it was 17-13. He returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and I mean he blew by everyone. Cordell Peterson, welcome to Chicago. Why do I give it an applaud? Because that's a bigger move than we all think. I mean, I heard that immediately when the Bears signed him, we instantly checked on him and said, oh, they got a return guy. Well, I mean, how many kicks really come out of the end zone? Not many. But when they do, the Bears will take it out and they would get stuck at the 15, and you've got a young quarterback and he's back in his own end zone. So when the Bears do take it out, Cordell Peterson will get you at the very least to the 20, and he's going to break some tackles. He's quick. He's big. He's 6'4", 250-some pounds. He's very, very quick. And then these reports started to come out, well, he can run routes very good, and that's why he's not a good receiver. Well, seen some footage back to his days in Minnesota, to the days into New England under Belichick, and he's not the greatest route runner, but believe me, he's not too much worse than Josh Bellamy, than what we had the years before. I mean, he's not the greatest route runner, but he's going to catch the ball. He's going to blow by a lot of people. There's not too many defensive backs and linebackers that's going to keep up with Cordell Peterson. I will tell you that much. I think that was a great signing. He's a gadget guy. He's going to do that play where, you got the running back in motion going to the right, and Cordell's going to come as a receiver in motion coming to the left, and they're going to fake handoff to Tariq Cohen, whoever is the back at that time, and give it to Cordell Peterson. And when he does that move, watch it. Belichick, he used them. When he does that move, I mean, he is gone. Once he starts cutting that corner, and I mean, you see those running backs just losing ground on him. Cordell Peterson, CP, is going to be a good fit in Chicago. If he stays healthy, he's going to be used in the offense, not just as a returner, but as a kick returner, but as a wide receiver. And don't be surprised if you see a game or two that the Bears use Cordell Peterson to run the ball, even if there's nothing wrong with Miles Sanders or whoever they choose to draft with. Because Cordell Peterson also ran the ball this year. The Patriots were backed up on injuries, and they used Cordell Peterson, their wideout, as a running back, and he actually did very good and succeeded on the Green Bay Packers. The next move the Bears go and do, they sign ATL wide receiver from the Atlanta Falcons, Marvin Hall. Marvin Hall, man, he's quick. I mean, he's a speedy little guy. And he's a fourth-year player. I mean, he was just drafted in 2016 by Atlanta, and Atlanta was very high on him. I'm sorry, I keep on saying the Hawks. The Atlanta Falcons were very, very high on him. It was one of their young receivers that was very quick, that can run the ball, that can catch the ball. He's also a gadget guy, and he's very quick. Point two, why the Bears are going to light up the scoreboard is MH, Marvin Hall. I mean, he's so quick that Trubisky's so accurate. I mean, coming out of college, that wasn't the thing on him. He threw 200 and some passes in a row without an interception. He was hitting tires from 40 yards away in the middle of the tire hole when the Bears drafted him at Soldier Field, when he first walked on Soldier Field as a Bear in practice. I mean, he's accurate, and he got accurate, and he stepped up. In that Eagles game, 52 seconds on the clock, he took them to where they needed to be. Okay, and it just didn't happen because of a double doing. Mitchell Trubisky wins that game, and everything changes. Maybe Matt Nagy actually opens up the playbook against the St. Louis Rams. And the St. Louis Rams, I mean, if there was proof that the Bears would have won to the championship game, was because of the Super Bowl. Because Belichick did what the Bears did to the Los Angeles Rams. He used the same scheme, the same game plan, took a page out of the Bears book and then some, and took it out on the Rams that couldn't even put up a touchdown. I mean, guys, would you say that the Chicago Bears offense was better than the Los Angeles Rams last year? No. I don't care how much of a diehard Bears fan you are. I don't care if you're that type of fan that says, we're the best, even though you're 2-14. No. Los Angeles, the Rams had a lot better offense than the Bears. A lot better. A lot better players, too. They couldn't put up a touchdown, but the Bears scored, I think, 30-some points. And it was a half a yard away from tying it and sending it into overtime. Or who knows, maybe Matt Nagy's goes for two. But second reason why the Bears will light up the scoreboard is Marvin Hall. He's going to be used. He is going to be used into this offense, and he's going to catch those routes that he runs 15 yards, cut in the middle, and then he's going to go. He's gone. And he's also a punt returner. The Bears will use him as a punt returner. So now they jumped up their special teams. They're no longer going to be backed up. They're no longer going to receive the ball or run back and lose 5 yards. Tariq Cohen did a pretty decent job as a punt returner, but Marvin Hall is going to be used there. Tariq Cohen is going to be used more as a wideout. The reason why I love why the Bears got Cordell Peterson and Marvin Hall is not only because of depth, not only because they're quick and they're gadget players and they fit Matt Nagy's scheme and they're young, but because Anthony Miller could be more of a wide receiver instead of him running the gadget plays that they would fake the ball to Jordan Howard and give it to Anthony Miller, and he would run across the side. That's how he got his shoulder popped out of place twice, had to pop it back in place. Allen Robinson's going to be more of a receiver. He's going to run more of his natural. Anthony Miller, for me, is more of a natural receiver than a gadget player. Now the Bears got that true speed with Cordell Peterson, with Marvin Hall, that when they do those gadget plays and when they cut the corner, they're going to be gone instead of someone catching them on the side. Instead of a 5 or 6 or 7 yard game, you're going to be looking at 10 to 15, 20, and sometimes taking it to the house 30, 40, 50 yards because they're that quick. This is what they do. This is what they did in college. I even watched Cordell Peterson in college. I even watched Marvin Hall in college. This is what they did. And they're going to do it under the best in Chicago, under a coach that just came in, took a franchise that was not known for their offense, and overnight turned him into an offensive team without the proper players. Now he's got the proper players. Now he's got the proper scheme. Now everyone believes in him. Everyone has faith in him. Everyone's all in. The Bears are going to light up their scoreboard, and you guys are going to need some sunglasses in the middle of winter, because when you go home after the Bears game and you see the score on NFL Network or on your ESPN or Comcast Sportsnet, you're going to see a lot of 33-6, 33-10, 40. Yeah, I said 40 points. 28 to. The Bears are just going to blow them out. The Bears might. I'm predicting the Bears next year, without them making any other moves, to be the most spread apart team. What do I mean by that? The Bears will have the biggest point differential in the NFL next year. They almost did this year. They was third in that. I believe they might have finished fourth, but they were third in points differential. This year, the Bears are going to be by a wide margin if the offense and defense is healthy, which the Bears are doing their due diligence. They're getting players that just in case this guy gets hurt, that guy's go down, he can fill the spot. The Bears will be fine. Their offense is going to light up the scoreboard. That should be our new thing. We should wear sunglasses this winter because the Bears are going to put up some points. And my third reason why the Bears are going to be a top 3 team in scoring, offense, points, yards, in all categories is because of the fact that they will draft the right running back. And I believe it will be Miles Sanders. And then the Bears can use Tarik Cohen and Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller a little bit more. You're going to see Tarik Cohen this year be more as a wideout than a running back. You're going to see him line up as a wideout more than a running back. You're going to see a lot more of Anthony Miller running 10 to 15-yard slant routes or deep routes because he's not going to have to be used all the time for gadget plays. For example, the plays that he kept on popping his shoulder out, that they would fake the ball to Jordan Howard while he's coming to the right. Anthony Miller will be in motion, and then they would give it to him, and he would run across the line, try to get 10, 12 yards. These guys are a lot more quicker. These guys are quick. Cordell Peterson, Marvin Hall, Mike Davis, they can catch the ball, they can run. Mike Davis can break some tackles. Miles Sanders from Pitt, the Bears get him, number 24. I would be so excited for that. One of the reasons why, when the Bears announced that the $11 million cap space and that you might get Le'Veon Bell, I loved it, but I really wouldn't mind if they didn't because I knew Miles Sanders was out there. Another thing is the Bears on defense. We're going to get there real quick. We got about 6 minutes left in the show. Thank yous for joining. Again, I'm your host, Kevin Zico. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any questions, leave us a comment on the bottom. Please push the subscribe button because I'll tell you this much. This is not my job, but I love watching sports. I'm not just a Chicago fan. I like other teams. I'll watch other games. So I know what's going on. And I will give the latest information to you. If you want to be entertained, you want to know the truth, you want to get real stats, real facts, numbers that you do not get on other shows, you will get them here. Like, for example, I said you can go back and watch. Please push the subscribe button. You will see the YouTube video the day before the game. Bears and yeah, the playoff game, Bears and Eagles. I said that this game might be closer than what everybody thinks because I checked what was the third down completion for Nick Foles, and it was unbelievable. He was 90%, over 90% on third downs. The Bears were the best on shutting teams down on third down, but he was the best on picking up that third down. His completion ratio was crazy. And I said that the game will come down to third down. The game is going to come down to third down. If the Bears can stop Nick Foles, then it's not going to be close. If they can get that 3 and out, then it's not going to be close. But if Nick Foles is going to pick up a third down here and a fourth down there and a third and long here, then it's going to get tough. And that's exactly what happened. And then I said it would come down to the field goal kickers, and I hope it doesn't, but it did. The evidence is there. Go watch it. I was right because I know what I'm talking about. All you have to do to know the outcome of a game and what it might be is check the stats on the players. Get what your team is really good at and put what their team is really good at and combine them together, and that's where the game will end up. It's going to come into the hands of what? That was a third down game. Matter of fact, Adrian Amos, it was 3rd and 11. Nick Foles threw to his tight end, and he dropped it. The ball came out, and then here comes Adrian Amos with a big hit. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. They go on to get the touchdown later on in that game. Leave us with 52 seconds left. There's a lot of things that went wrong in that game. I will give you the facts that you need to know to be prepared, not only for free agency, but for game day. The Bears need a third rusher. They need a third rusher. They have the best in Khalil Mack. They have Leonard Floyd that actually stepped up. I mean, he was this close to blocking that touchdown pass that the Eagles got to go ahead in the fourth quarter late. Yes, he only had 4 sacks, but he's always hurt and he's a slow starter. They need that rusher. They need that one more guy, and Justin Houston is still out there. And he looks a lot older than what he is. He's only 30-year-old. He had a year that he had 20-some sacks. I think he had 22 and a half sacks in 2014. Then the numbers start to drop to 11. His back, last 2 years, we went back and we checked. He had 9 in 2016. Or he had 9.5 in 2016, 9 in 2017. He's got 18 sacks in the 2 years. He can still bring the pressure to the quarterback. That's what the Bears need. It's either that player that the Bears used last year was Adam Lynch. And Lynch played good. He did his job. He had a couple interceptions. He had a big interception against the Niners. He had a couple of sacks. He did his job. But Justin Houston is a little bit better, I would say, than Lynch. And I would hope that they can get him. He's looking, we don't know if he wants a long-term deal, what he's exactly looking for. But the Bears have about $16 million in cap space. They also have to leave a few $1 million to sign their draft picks that they're going to be doing in April. They're also going to need to leave some money just in case for emergencies or whatever it is, cut players, sign players in the season. So say they got about $13 to $14 million clear. Justin Houston, I would say $10 million, should get it done. Anywhere from $10 to $11 million should get it done for Justin Houston. The thing is, does he want a long-term deal? Does he want a 3-year deal? Or is he willing to take that 1-year deal? And if he is asking for a 3-year deal, are you willing to give something like 3 years, $30 million or $27 million with maybe half of it guaranteed? Is the Super Bowl that important to you that you're willing to, you know what, maybe this year he might be great and he might slow down the last year of the contract and it might look bad, but we're that close to a Super Bowl. And if the Bears can add Justin Houston for $10 million, give me that. Even if it's a 3-year contract. I would like to get him for 2 and 18. And I would, if I could, I would guarantee, 14 of it. But does he maybe want to play a 1-year contract like Clinton Dix and maybe have that spectacular year and get back on the market? The Bears need a third rusher. Are they going to try to get it through the draft? Or are they going to do the due diligence and get a Justin Houston? He's a big name. He's very good. Kansas City Chiefs tried to trade him. It didn't happen because of the money he was owed, and they released him. I really can't, I'm having a hard time understanding that because it was a pretty bad defense last year. And releasing a player like Justin Houston, I mean, anytime you have a player that can give you 9 sacks back-to-back years, I mean, I take that. He's still solid. He still brings the pressure on that quarterback. And when you're talking about a front four that has Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks and Justin Houston, Leonard Floyd, and you got Eddie Goldman and Berard Nichols. I mean, sounds pretty good. I mean, tell me how does this sound? I mean, Leonard Floyd, Khalil Mack, Justin Houston, and then Akeem Hicks, Kyle Fuller, Prince Amukamara, HaHa Clinton Dix, Eddie Jackson. And then they got that Buster that he seems to be a pretty solid player. I mean, go Bears, go. Because the Bears are going to light up the scoreboard. It's all the time we have. Please subscribe. If you want to know more information, you will be notified as soon as I post something. Thank you for watching. Again, from Chicago, the Bears are going to light up the scoreboard. If you want sports talk, you want real information, you want to know the real rumors, real stats, come watch Chicago Sports Talk. Thank you for joining. Watch. Let someone know. I'll answer your questions. Leave comments. Let me know, who do you think the Bears are going to draft in the 3rd round? Are they going to go running back? Do you think they're going to go somewhere else? And who would you draft? Play GM with us. Who would you draft? Would you draft Miles Sanders? Would you draft a Devin Singletary? Would you draft a Darren Henderson? Who would be your running back that you would draft? Leave us comments on that. Also, would you sign Justin Houston to a 2 or 3 year deal if he's not willing to take a 1 year? Would you give him the 2 and 20 or the 3 and 30? How would you break it down? How much guaranteed would you give him? Be excited. Bears are going to light up the scoreboard. Get your sunglasses going. Thank you for joining. We will be on as soon as something breaks. Thank you. Good night.